It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, I got my magic pen in my hand. We're going to get on the Clear Touch Interactive board because in the Document Imaging channel, we have an HP issue. That's right, my friends. We got an HP issue, and this issue is affecting end users all over the world. All over the world. You know those end users that buy printers, get their supplies and their services? They're frustrated, and it's causing this HP issue. So let me get on my board and explain this to you. This HP issue, you can tell this is a mad person. So if this is a customer, they're so mad, their face is red, they're spitting teeth out when they talk, they're really upset, and this is causing a happy problem. It's causing a happy problem, HP issue. And you know, this problem has arisen because of some fines, lawsuits, bullying. And I ran into this article yesterday out of Italy. Antitrust watchdog AGCM has fined Hewlett-Packard a total of 10 million euros for using, I got to circle these words because they're so disturbing, for using misleading and aggressive practices to limit the use of non-original cartridges for its printers. Following a detailed investigation, the watchdog accused HP Inc. and HP Italy of introducing significant restrictions. That's a terrible word. How does that describe customer service? Significant restrictions. Tell me about your customer service, HP. We have significant restrictions. Just doesn't go well, does it? Terrible stuff. On the use of non-genuine ink and toner cartridges in many inkjet and laser printers sold to consumers. Specifically, the regulator found that HP has for years, so this isn't a new thing. They've been doing it for years. Been using printer firmware to prevent the use of non-original cartridges, to deny assistance. Deny assistance, that's customer service. We're going to deny assistance for printers that have used non-original cartridges, and to gather consumption data without customer consent. They're getting data on usage and stuff without the customer's consent. Look at these words. Let's go through them. Misleading, aggressive practices, significant restrictions, deny assistance without customer consent. My gosh, you could write a hell of a nice mission statement out of those words, couldn't you? God, if you were a customer of a printer, those are the words you want on your customer service profile, aren't they? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is what's going on. Let me clear this board off here. I believe that, well, we're getting into a Ransom Print business model. It's a Ransom Print business model, and we got to avoid these type models. I mean, these business models are horrific. They are horrific. I want the dealers that are thinking about maybe becoming an HP dealer just to think about this. Imagine, if you will. I'm not saying this will happen, but boy, you could almost imagine it could happen. Imagine that you sign up as an HP dealer, and you have this enterprise customer that you've been servicing for decades. It's one of your largest accounts. They love your service. They love your support. You don't have words like abusive tactics. Oh my gosh, can you imagine some of those words on your contracts? You'd be freaking out, wouldn't you? But anyway, let's go back to this enterprise customer. You decide that you're going to do a deal with HP, and you're going to sign that 60-page, dealer agreement they have, that big giant contract that wants to get all kinds of information about your customers. But you're going to go ahead and get into a deal with HP, and you put all HP equipment in your big enterprise account. And that enterprise account comes to you and says, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we are extremely, extremely concerned about the environment. And we want all our printers to use remanufactured cartridges from Clover. We want to have Clover cartridges inside our printers. We want to help the environment out. Is the dealer going to get into some kind of a lawsuit? I mean, think about it. Is HP going to tell the dealer, well, you can't do that. It violates our contract. Shame on you. Are they going to have some kind of spyware or firmware, or whatever you want to call that, that tells them what the customer's putting inside the printer, and they're going to call up the dealer and say, well, we're going to have to cancel your agreement. You can only put our toner in there because we have this ransom business model. So ladies and gentlemen, we got to stay away from the Ransom Print business model. So I came up with an acronym to help us stay away from this thing. And anytime you're presented with some kind of a business model that's basically a hostage program, brazen, abusive, and advantageous to the end users, run. What is that? Let's just use this act. So let's work on this together. We got hostage, H, program, P, brazen, B, abuse, A, disadvantageous, D. That spells HP bad. So when you run into the HP bad in your mind, you see this business model built around a ransom platform, run. Ladies and gentlemen of the Document Imaging Channel, I don't believe it's going to be too long before we have a different kind of a helpline. You know the helplines where people call up and they say, my printer's having some issues? Well, I think we're going to have to start staffing them with lawyers. I think we're going to have the Print Support Service Lawyers Hotline. Seriously, we'll have some lawyers in there. We'll teach them some things about the printers because all these customers that are calling up saying, I can't put the cartridge I want in there. I'm trying to save the environment. And, HP won't let me. I need some help. Well, they don't need help around the printer. They need some legal help. So it would just make sense if we had lawyers staffing these, these print support service centers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just some things to think about. But when you hear words like abusive, misleading, is that really customer service? Are you building a business model that's all about you? It's not about your end users? Here's the bottom line. I want everybody to think about this. I know I'm beating up HP a little bit here, but think about this. How many lawsuits do end users have right now against the other manufacturers? How many end users are suing other manufacturers? You don't ever hear about those cases. I mean, do they even exist? Are end users suing Ricoh because the customer put a different toner in the machine? I never heard of one. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about the big bullies. Think about abusive practices. Think about aggressive tactics. Are those the things that you want to be known by your end users? I don't think you do. And until people start saying enough is enough, well, guess what? People are going to try to get away with what they can get away with. But we all know this, my friends. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.